Good afternoon. My name is Heidi Corliss, and I am blessed to teach in this wonderful facility. We want to welcome you on behalf of Camden Academy and RSU 22 to this wonderful District 5 High School Honors Festival. It has been a wonderful 2 days. Every school has sent their best musicians, and we have had just a glorious time. So welcome. I hope you enjoy the concert this afternoon, and thanks for joining us today. I'd like to introduce our District 5 chairperson, also a colleague of mine here, Mrs. Rebecca Mallory.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Maine Music Educators Association District 5, I welcome you to our 2018 High School Honors Music Festival. The students have been amazing. We have many hands make light work, and it's a lot of work. And so I really want to thank the Camden Academy staff, administration, our amazing music teachers here, Heidi Corliss and Academy Shows back in the booth, for organizing everything, and of course the gazillions of Camden Academy Music Association parents and students that have been helping feed and organize behind the scenes. They've been fantastic. Can we give them a big round of applause, please? Of course, none of this happens without the support of family and friends, and so thank you very much for supporting these amazing kids behind us, our young people. And obviously the District 5 music teachers are the ones who are nominating them and preparing them for the festival. We also have, so they definitely deserve a round of applause. Thank you, teachers. We have several teachers volunteer to manage the groups every year, and it is a year-long process of finding conductors and organizing music for the program, and then compiling the groups from the nominations. Our managers this year, Scott Burdett with the band, and Catherine Struck, who I'll introduce in a second, and Andrea Bacon did an amazing job trying to make a string ensemble work for us this year. You'll notice there isn't one, but I know there were a lot of students that really were looking forward to it, but just wasn't enough. We had 2 schools that weren't able to participate this year, unfortunately, and Andrea really tried to make it work right up to the last minute, and we're on this to make something better happen in the future, but she definitely deserves a round of applause for all the work she did do. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our chorus manager, Catherine Struck.
Everyone, welcome. I'm going to be pretty quick so you can hear the beautiful singing. My name is Catherine Strouk. I am the chorus teacher at Dexter Regional High School. And I have had the wonderful pleasure of being the manager for this fabulous chorus for the past 2 days. It's been 2 days of singing and drinking a lot of water and lots of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings jokes and lots of singing much too loudly when they should be saving their voices, and lots of realizations of, oh my gosh, these are my people. They understand my musical side. It's very cool to see those connections happening. So thank you all for having your kids be here. They're a pleasure to work with and always on time, which is amazing. And they have a wonderful conductor and a wonderful accompanist who I will introduce quickly. You can read the minute details in your program. But chances are, if you've been around the University of Maine in the last couple of years or so, you have seen these 2 around. They are kind of masters of everything, and they have been wonderful to work with. So without further ado, I will introduce to you conductor Justin Zhang and the accompanist Colin Graver.
They never make it at my height. Aren't they amazing? That's a day and a half of work. That's unreal. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. Once again, my name is Justin Zhang, and I'm so happy to be here with District 5 High School Chorus. The piece you just heard was The Call of Music by Joseph M. Martin, a wonderful anthem. The next piece we're going to perform is actually a very special one. I'm fairly certain, I've done my research as much as I can, that this will actually be the first time that this piece is performed in Maine. Last June, I had the pleasure of being at David Geffen Hall, the world premiere of a piece called Tyler's Suite. And it was commissioned by the Tyler Clementi Foundation, which is a suicide prevention and anti-bullying foundation that travels the world fundraising for this foundation that brings awareness to cyberbullying to people. And it's a truly wonderful thing that they do. And they commissioned this piece with Stephen Schwartz, who you may know as the composer for musicals such as Wicked. But the work proved to be a little too big for just one composer, and he reached out to many other Broadway composers and film composers that he knew, and created this beautiful work called Tyler's Suite in honor of a young man who unfortunately, due to cyberbullying, took his own life. The second movement of the piece, the greater work that we are going to perform, is a piece called A Wish, where the young man Tyler wishes for simpler times in a time of turmoil. So thank you so much for being here tonight. This is A Wish. Our accompanist is Colin Graber, and I would now like to welcome to the stage Miss Jen Nash, our violin soloist. There have been many composers over the centuries who have used the Requiem text in marvelous ways. And today's composers are really taking many great directions with using this age-old text. Many people use the Requiem as a mourning for those who have passed. However, there are many composers now who remind us of those who are left behind in their texts with the Requiem. Eleanor Daly, who's the composer of this next piece, she chose to use this text to remind us that even though those who have passed on and who have left us, that there is still a life to be led even in their passing. This is In Remembrance by Eleanor Daly. One of the most, one of the most prolific composers of our time, Mr. Eric Whitacre, is the composer of this next piece. I've had the pleasure of working with him before, and he has just done amazing things for music today in both choral and orchestral and band music, and I can almost guarantee you've probably heard something by this composer before. But this piece was commissioned by Walt Disney World for the World of Colors presentation in Florida, and we're happy to present it to you this afternoon. This is Glow by Eric Whitacre.
So
And now we come to the end of the choral portion of this concert. Once again, thank you so much for joining us this Saturday afternoon. It has been such a pleasure working with such talented students. Can we have another round of applause for these kids? I recently was fortunate to attend a workshop in New York City a couple weeks ago, and one of the quotes from the workshop that stuck with me the most was, "Let them sing, don't make them sing." And when I first stepped in this room, I said, what am I going to have to do? And they have been stringing me along the entire way. I can barely keep up with them. So you should all be very proud of these wonderful students you have today. Thank you so much to Heidi and Pat for letting us use this amazing facility. And thank you so much to Rebecca with District 5 and everyone for having me here. I am so honored to be a part of this tradition. And thank you, of course, again to my accompanist, Mr. Colin Graber. Let's hear it for Colin, please. Our final piece is a gospel, one that I've been working with for years. It's one of my favorites. You all may know it, you may have heard it before, and believe me, it's really upbeat. You might feel the urge to get up and dance and clap. Please don't, it really screws us up. No, seriously, if you feel the spirit in you, go right ahead, folks. This is Music Down to My Soul by Moses Hogan. Thank you so much.